Instrumental was created by me from scratch. Machine 2 software. What is up, guys? Nigel Ford here. Boom! And with skateboards and guitars, two of the coolest instruments that you can play. Got some natural light. Now I'm standing in front of the window, which is different because usually I'm not making videos during the day. Now people are looking at me weird, the people that are walking out there. Random people like, who's this guy standing in front of the window recording himself? Super weird. All right, what's up, guys? I'm back here now to bring you guys some more content. I just want to keep pumping them out so I can bring you guys some more material. You guys can get to know me better, and I can get better with how I edit, how I put everything together. Like, I know my last video, I made the classic mistake of having my phone oriented the other way so it wasn't as big on the screen for you guys, and learning from that, growing from that, and I'm only gonna get better, and I hope you guys only enjoy my videos more from here on out. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about music, really. Why I like to make music, why am I so passionate about music, and what drove me to want to start creating my own. But today, yeah, I'm in my uniform because I'm the guy who has a 24-hour duty post, and for those of you who are not familiar with the military or how that works, basically usually around once a month you get picked out of the crowd to be a person who is on call for 24 hours straight. So you get a special cell phone that they give you, and you have to basically be like the policeman. You walk around, you make sure everybody's following the rules, and you don't sleep. And you know, you're sober. You can't do anything, you can't have any fun, you can't be friends with anybody, because if somebody's breaking the rules, you gotta step in and you have to be that disciplinary authority figure, which I don't like doing or being, but for the time being, I have to. Profess truth as best I can. I wish this on everyone, to every living man. Understand what I'm saying, approach with an open mind, and a heightened spiritual experience is what you'll find. I always have believed in reflective thoughts that deepen our awareness. The Heavenly Father has everything happen for a reason, and that God lives inside all of us, and we as humans are all one and the same. Flaunt cash that's not yours. Yeah, cash money. This is money that the military gave me to pay for drunk people in taxis, because that's my job tonight, is to take care of drunk people. All right, so music. I don't know about you guys. I've been passionate about music my entire life. It actually kind of irritates me when I meet somebody who like doesn't care for music at all, really. Like, there's certain people that I've just come across in my life who are just like indifferent to music, and it's just like so strange to me. It's bizarre. It's out of my frame of mind to even understand how it's just so impactful to me. I don't really judge them, but it's just like I find it hard to connect with them at all. It's hard to even communicate with them, because I feel like so often I'm using music as a metaphor, as a vehicle to like express how I feel. Like, oh, this song really, you know, expresses how I feel, and I'm showing it to them, and then start talking in the middle of the song about something completely random, and I'm just like, appreciate the music. But you can't force people to appreciate things the way you appreciate them, so that's okay. I don't really know when it started. I've always loved music. As a kid, my mom would be playing like Simple Plan in the car, and I would just headbang it out to some Simple Plan. She took me to a concert. She took me to a Rancid concert, I think. Maybe it was Simple Plan or Blink-182 or Green Day or something cool like that when I was like 8 years old. It was crazy. not usually the best place for an 8-year-old, but I remember standing on top of a speaker, and I had a mohawk. They gave me a mohawk, and they did colored dye. And the next day I had school, and I went to school and I still had the mohawk, and my mom was so mad at me. She explicitly told me, do not go to school with the mohawk. But then I convinced my grandma, who takes me to school, that it was okay. It doesn't matter, because I wanted all my friends to see my mohawk. And yeah, when she came home from work and saw that I still had the mohawk and knew that I went to school with it, she was pissed. I remember talking to people about certain subjects, and there's like certain things that people would know a lot about, and I didn't really have that thing in my life. I would always try and figure out, like, what is it gonna be that I'm gonna study that when people come to talk to me about it, I'm gonna know a whole lot about. And I remember thinking, hey, I actually do know quite a bit about music, so I started applying myself more towards that, and I started figuring out what my style and my taste of music was. And I figured out that, yeah, I go through phases, but I really enjoy just about everything that I can understand. The only music I don't like is like screamo or like mumble rap. If you're gonna use words, I'm just hoping I can understand what you're saying. There's a few instances where there's songs that I have no idea what they're saying, but I still like it. It happens, but not as often. But yeah, so I started getting really into music, so I could be like that connoisseur of music. I could just like point people in the right direction of like, oh, you need like some new music to listen to, or you know, you don't know much about music, you want to get into it, or you want to know about this genre or this style of music. Then I wanted to be that guy that people could come to. So after I started really studying music in around 6th grade, around 7th grade is when I started to write. And I remember the story very clearly. My good friend Tony Martinez, goes by Tone Deaf now. He actually just dropped his 2nd album, and really talented guy. You should listen to the song Boba. But 7th grade, I remember Tony Martinez and I had this infamous rap battle, and I remember it so clearly because the rules were established. Like, we're gonna have a rap battle, and it has to be pure freestyle. You can't think of anything ahead. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick true to that. And like, so I kind of went about my day, and everyone starts talking about this rap battle. It's gonna happen in the 7th period during PE, and I'm like, oh man, like this is gonna be so funny. Like, we're both just gonna say a couple funny things and yada yada. So everyone's just kind of like hanging out, and we all get into this like big circle, and it's me and Tony in the middle. And Tony, he's like, all right, you can go first. And I'm like, oh sure, okay. So somebody starts beatbox. Remember remotely at all what I said, but I remember it was like probably like 3 or 4 bars of just like nonsense, barely rhyming, not flowing whatsoever. First time ever trying to put poetry into a flow and say it off the top of my head, was way in over my head. Little did I know Tony was extremely talented, and little did I know he actually had something prepared, like he told me not to do. And I'm not sure if his plan was to stomp me out that way and just completely embarrass me, but that's exactly what he did, and annihilated me, bro. He came with like, I'm not even, like probably 16 to like 30 bars of just madness, and he just ripped me to shreds, and everyone's like, oh, and it was more like, Tony's awesome, and they didn't really like, they didn't give me like, they didn't talk me down, but they didn't talk me up, and I was like, dang, what the heck? I want to be cool. And from that moment on, I thought Tony was the coolest guy ever, man. I was just like, I didn't hate on him for it at all. Actually, it was quite the opposite. I was like, I want to learn from this guy. This guy can definitely put words together. And I started to learn that I'm actually kind of talented at poetry. I can actually rhyme words together pretty well the way my mind works. And from there, Tony and we created this little band that we called ADT Typical with our friend Adam Itakazu. So ADT was Adam was Ape, accident prone egg roll, and I was the D. I was Drof Legend, my last name backwards, DROF Legend, Nigel. You can put the puzzle together if you want. And then there's T's, Lyrical T's, LT's was Tony Martinez, and Typical was we were just ADT Typical, right? The Typical Cats. Yeah, we didn't put anything out. We were in 7th grade, 8th grade when this was going on. So we would really just mess around. We did little artwork and we did rhymes, and Tony would make little beats on Yamaha keyboard, and we would just rap. We would just get together and we would make tunes and we would rap. We would freestyle mostly. We would just get together and freestyle, and it was really just all for the fun of it. So that was never anything serious, but that really sparked my want to not just write poetry, yada yada, but actually make full comprehensive songs. And I didn't really fully realize that till maybe the end of high school, but I was always interested in just learning how to get on the computer and make an instrumental. I bought a keyboard and I started trying to learn how to play piano and learn chords and different progressions and keys. And yeah, just really from there, I guess by the end of high school, I had kind of let those dreams slip away from me though, because I just started to try to think about real life, how am I actually going to make a living. I never saw music as something I could pursue full time. So that's when I made the decision to not go to college because it's far too expensive, and join the military. So during that decision time in my life, music was still super important to me. I was always writing. If you saw the notes on my phone, you'd think I'm a madman. It's just every single day I probably write something, and that's just the way my mind works, is in rhymes. So when I write things down to express myself, most of the time it's a poem or it's a rap or something like that. So I was always doing that, still kind of dabbling around on the computer, making beats a little. Music, listening wise, was always still so important to me. That's actually probably when it was the most important to me, because I wasn't creating as much. I was consuming a lot of music. I was listening to music all of the time. Some of my biggest inspirations around that time are Tyler the Creator and all of Odd Future, and for sure you got Mac Miller in there. Kendrick Lamar was doing incredible things. When I graduated high school, he dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, which is literally one of the greatest albums of all time. And you had Mac Miller dropping Good AM, and you had Odd Future coming out with all kinds of crazy different stuff. Chance the Rapper came out with The Coloring Book in 2016, and that was a huge one for me. What is there, Joey Badass? That was right around the time I really got into Pink Floyd as well, kind of towards the end of high school, especially right when I joined the military. I started listening to a lot of classic rock. I had Led Zeppelin going all the time, Pink Floyd. I tried to memorize every guitar riff in the whole album. That was right around the time. 2017, when I got to Hawaii, I bought a guitar and tried to learn really how to start playing guitar too. Because I would be listening to a lot of alternative rock. I started listening to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins. So after I joined the military, and then after I got married, I guess it took me a while to really get into the mode of wanting to not just create music, but really curate it and make it good enough to put it out to the public and try to make a name for myself. So I think, yeah, just recently, a couple of months ago, when I made my way out here to Okinawa, Japan, and I knew I was going to have a lot of free time, and I was not going to be able to do a whole lot because I won't have a car, I won't have as many friends. I thought, hey, this is a great time to kind of focus up and kind of curate some of the musical ideas that I have in my head. So I'm actually currently working on my album, Freedom, which is going to drop the day I get out of the military, make my appearance back in San Diego, and then start just collaborating with lots of good people back there. But this time period of about 7 months while I'm out here, I've already been, and I'm going to continue to just be focusing on, the sound that I want to create on this album. and just kind of like what I want to express on it, what I want the message to be, and what I want it to be about. What drove me to want to create music, I think it's the impact that is made in my life. I want to make that same impact in other people's lives. Like, I think of people like Tyler the Creator or Mac Miller, the kind of impact that they've made on me. If I can create something even half as good as they are, and even make a quarter or an eighth of the impact that they've made, you know, on other people's lives. You know, there's several people I've talked to have told me that music has saved their life. You know, they've been on the brink of suicide or drug overdose, and they hear a lyric or they receive a message from a song, and they just understand, like, this isn't right, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's almost religious in a sense, like it saves people. But no, for real, like I truly believe in the power of music. There's so much behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize that goes into creating artwork. That yeah, sometimes artists just kind of create something on a whim and it ends up making an impact, but more often I've found like they really sit down and they're like, I want to touch these people's hearts. And that's what I try to do as well. With the music that I've made so far, or at least the music that I've put out so far, I know it's not like super impactful, but I do believe it's inspiring. I do believe that somebody can look at my work and be like, you know, this guy is not anything like super talented, but like he has the discipline to sit down and want to create, and he has the drive to put it out to the public and promote it a little bit. So that's you know, it's more than nothing, and I think it can inspire people. But the tracks that I'm gonna have on my album are definitely going to be impactful. I want people to hear it, and I want them to know that I actually took my time with them and I cared about it, and I wanted to produce a product that was meaningful, while all the while sounding beautiful and good musically. All right, we're gonna play a little melody here. We're gonna go shift, record. Just about wraps this up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below and let me know how music has changed your life, how it's positively impacted you. I would like to know it all. Also leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to do next, what you want to hear from me, what you want to know about me, or what you want me to do a video about. I'd love to do it. All right, God bless. Thank you. Bringing y'all the raps, here we go. Couldn't imagine a better place that I'd rather be living, cause I'm grateful for every second that my grace what God has given. The gospel spoken word for every rhyme I've ever written. Blissfulness, this is Christmas gifts. Just listen, explicit yes, purely to profess truth as best I can. I wish this on everyone, that every living man understand what I'm saying. Approach with an open mind and a heightened spiritual experience is what you'll find I always have believed in. Reflective thoughts that deepen our awareness. The Heavenly Father has everything happen for a reason, and that God lives inside all of us, and we as humans are all one and the same, all coming from a star's dust. Give me your farthest trust, every animal and object to disrespect your reflection. Does that make sense to you? Having hate in your heart for anyone or anything only brings our awareness down. In the grand scheme, we need to reach an equal conscious unanimously. Potentially is possible, but only if you're standing with me. Impressive with impeccable perspectives. Planet Earth that's blended with no sections. Perfection, imagine that.